it's got the same move with every club. I'm the only golfer with the feeling of greatness. I'm the only golfer living that's got the master move and the feeling of greatness.
All right. Hey, welcome to the Feeling of Greatness podcast. I am excited today. I have been out of pocket, which isn't unusual for my presence here at Graves Golf, but I'm here with Thomas Purvis today. Thomas, I brought him back in. Number one is I'm trying to catch up with what's going on with our company.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Lots of things going on.
We just had a conversation. I found out some new stuff that's going on that I didn't know about. That's good. And I thought the listeners here could maybe kind of tune into what's happening at Graves Golf. The other thing that is worth talking about, and the subject that I'd like to talk about today, is something that's on my mind, because yesterday when I walked in the door here, we were talking about our elite members and their progress. And, you know, we take results seriously around here. And it's not just, hey, we teach a golf swing. It's, hey, we want to see people actually love playing the game and enjoy playing the game and play better. And I came in here and we got a VIP thing going on today, and none of the guys had sent in their homework.
Yeah.
And our discussion was, well, what are we going to do? I mean, how do we do this? And so my topic today that I want to kind of roll back with you and let you give me some input on is just accountability. And I'll give a quick example. Like, one of the things that I think to accountability, to me, if I had to kind of just look at it from 30,000 feet, is I think you have to have goals. I think the goals have to be big enough to be compelling enough to want to hold yourself accountable, that you have some ambitions. Like, I think that's, to me, a big problem with what I see golfers that are trying to achieve something is of course, everybody wants to play better. Of course, you want to hit better shots. Of course, you want to beat your buddies or whatever your ambitions are. But then if you start narrowing that down to, okay, how do you get that done? Or how do you get better? Or how do you improve? It's hard for people to hold themselves accountable to what it really takes to get better. I signed up for a training program recently. It's a very expensive program, but it's exactly what we do at Graves Golf. It's a coaching accountability program, just like our Single Point Academy. Mm-hmm. And two things that I'm really loving about the program. One, it's keeping me accountable. Every day I wake up, there's things I need to be doing to improve myself. Number two is I have goals that I'm looking forward to, goals that I've set in there that are my goals. They're personal to me. They're important to me, that these coaches are holding me accountable to. And then there's ways of measuring. There's ways of measuring whether I'm accomplishing things or not. Like today I had to put in a bunch of data, body fat analysis, all types of stuff in there to see where I'm at, set some, okay, now this week, and what happens is it ends up being kind of a one day at a time thing. Like, what are you doing today to accomplish your goal? What are you doing tomorrow to accomplish your goal? Okay, wake up today. What am I doing today? When I talk to people about accountability, the very first thing I talk to them about is get on a schedule. Get your schedule out and schedule out how you're going to hold yourself accountable. Make this prioritize, whether it's practicing your short game, practicing your putting, working on your long game. How are you prioritizing this? Because if you're not prioritizing it, there's no way I as a coach, or Thomas, you as a coach, or any of the coaches here at Graves Golf, there's no way we can hold you accountable if you're not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, our elite program is a lot like, it sounds like what you just signed up with, with the new workout program. But we see it all the time. I mean, we had a guy the other day who quit our online coaching program because he felt like he wasn't seeing results. And so I called him and had a conversation. I said, hey, well, let's kind of talk about why. And all the things that we were doing, from an accountability standpoint with him, he wasn't doing, and then didn't feel like he was seeing some of those results. I'm like, well, you're not, there's a lot that goes into personal accountability and responsibility in a lot of this stuff. And it's like, if you want to see the results and the goals, you got to do stuff every day. You got to be able to work through those things. You've got to be able to set your schedule and prioritize that, because, there's only so much that we can do. I mean, there's got to be personal accountability to be able to strive and reach those goals. And this guy, he was like, well, I wanted to be able to become a scratch golfer. And he's been with us for 8 years. And he was in the 20s. And now he's down to like a 4 handicap. And I'm like, it's pretty good improvement. I'm like, that next step to get to scratch is going to be that much more difficult, for you. And you've got to have that accountability. And,
well, let me ask
you, you want it, you don't.
Let me ask you a question. Sometimes I wonder if we should be holding people accountable or if they should be holding us accountable.
Interesting.
And the reason I say it that way is because when I'm in front of students and, I teach large groups and pretty much that's all I do now is teach a lot of large groups of people, and they don't have a question for me. Like if they don't pose a question to me about the subject matter, my brain, and I could be wrong, my brain goes to, they're not interested enough in this. Like they're not really, if they don't have a question, I know that when I am really into something, I dig in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you right now, I'm lazy as shit. Like I'm a lazy person, but when I want something, I'm not lazy at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. You guys know that from being around me in the company. Like if something's not interesting to me, I'm like, well, whatever.
Right.
But if something, I'm relentless about things that are important to me.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get that relentlessness into the conversation? Relentlessness means that I call my coach every day and go, what do I need to do today? What am I not, why am I not, why am I not improving? As opposed to saying, well, this isn't working for me. Why didn't he call us?
Yeah.
And say, guys, hey, I need to sit down with you and really have a conversation about this. What is it going to take for me to get to the next level?
Right.
So to me, it wasn't that we weren't doing our job, which I'm not saying we're perfect, but it's that he wasn't relentless enough about, maybe he's happy where he's at.
Right.
Right. Okay. I'm good with that. I mean, if you're happy, good. If I got you to where you're happy, we did our job. I'm very excited about that. Matter of fact, that's what we do. Right.
Yeah.
But if you come to me and say, well, I'm just not getting any better from this, I'm going to turn to you and say, well, are you holding us accountable? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you say? Because I know for a fact, I will take 100% responsibility for me personally not reaching my goals. Mm-hmm. I'm taking 100% responsibility for that. I'm not going to blame my coach for that. This training program that I just signed up for, I'm not going to blame them if I keep eating like shit, if I don't do the workouts. And look, I can tell you right now, I will not do all the workouts they put me into.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be a bodybuilder.
Right.
But I do want to have a level of accountability, and I do expect results, and I will do most of the stuff they ask, but I will give them feedback and go, guys, look, I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I'm not interested in that, but I am interested in losing 20 pounds. I am interested in being in the best shape of my life. I am interested in eating well and knowing what to eat when I go to these restaurants and when I travel. There are certain things. So I'm laying out my goals for you. Like I just laid out, I want to know what to eat when I travel. I want to know how much rest I need. Is there supplements I should take? I'm 56 years old. Is there ways to, these guys did a blood analysis on me and they're looking at all my markers and stuff. But anyway, I'm relentless about stuff that I really, really want. Right. And I think you have to have a relentless part of you to really, really accomplish your goals, especially at our ages.
Yeah.
I mean, you're 37.
I'm 41.
Wow. You start working here when you're 37?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I pop in every 4 years. But yeah, you're 41 and I'm 56. So, I mean, I'm no spring chicken here. And, I see I'm looking 20 years down the road, I want to have a healthy lifestyle when I'm 70,
right.
75. That means I got to start now. So if you want to be a good golfer, you can't say, well, I better get this in a week. It's like, okay, how do I change my current habits that can make me a better golfer? What are those habits I need to create in my life? How do I get accountable to those? And it's a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
That's why, I have spent some time with you discussing the single plane life,
right? The
concept of the single plane life, because I think anytime that you get good at something, it becomes a lifestyle. Name something that guys are good at that isn't part of their life.
Well, I mean, sports. I mean, business or
fishing,
pickleball,
like fishing.
Yeah,
fishing is like, Scott here. He's into fishing right now, but it's like he's looking towards the next weekend. He's planning what gear he's going to take. He's planning this shit out, and it becomes part of your lifestyle. And right. I think it's an important part of your life is to have things like that in your life that you look forward to and that create. But you also he has to work at it. You gotta find the right spots. You got to learn how to fish. You got to learn. There's a lot of stuff you got to learn, but it's not like I'm just going to go fishing today. I don't even have a pole. I'll just run to the store and get one. It's not that. It's like he's probably on the internet looking up, okay, how to catch the largest fish, or
Yeah.
and he's probably researching it. I just know that's the way I do things too.
Right.
And I guess my question today is really, how do we motivate people? I think I asked this in the last podcast. How do we motivate people, and how do we get them accountable? Because the people that are, because we have a lot of them that are,
Absolutely.
those guys make massive progress.
Right.
But the guys that I saw a guy on the Mo Norman chat, which I have a love-hate relationship with the Mo Norman forum. These guys were bitching and complaining about, they're debating Mo's swing. They're all debating on, did Mo hold it in the palm of the hand?
Right.
Did he do this? Did he do that? Guys, you guys it's small potatoes. You need to be focused on how do you match the model, and then how do you keep yourself accountable to that model so you can improve? Does your swing look like Mo's?
Yeah.
I don't care what you call it. Call it 52 plane swing.
Right.
Call it whatever the hell you want. Does it match the model, and are you holding yourself accountable to learning it? Because you will get better if you do that.
Yeah.
But sit on a forum debating whether Mo's, left toe was turned in 12 degrees, and it's just not going to do it, right?
No, absolutely. Well, and I think, we've got a whole team here of success coaches that talk with our members and our customers to really kind of figure out, where they need to go with their game. And a lot of guys in those conversations, they say, I'm not going out there to try and win a USGA event or a tournament or this or that. And I was like, okay, that's fine. That's not what we're trying to necessarily get you to, but can you go out there and play golf pain-free and have fun and beat your buddies and enjoy life? Because that's, when you talk about the single plane life, and it's like, it becomes, how can we help you be a part of that ecosystem, that it's like, you're really enjoying things within your life, and how do, to help you improve? Like for me, I just joined a gym. I just joined Lifetime because I felt like there's things, I need to get my body in better health. And part of it was because of my golf game. I want to improve my golf game in different areas. And so I found things that, I'm trying to help improve that. But we've got a lot of people that from the accountability standpoint, don't practice, don't put out the effort, all that. And then they complain. And it's like, you got to take a little bit of personal responsibility. You got to step up and maybe it's, you got to find that motivator. Like you said, it's like, what is it? And maybe it's not winning a club championship. Maybe it's not doing that, but what makes you want to get up and go work a little bit? And I know guys don't like the word work, but at some point, like for me, my wife tells me this all the time, shiny object. And I have a tendency of doing this even in work here. Shiny object, just like you, go hard, go hard, go hard. And then, it kind of works into my lifestyle and all that stuff. But, I look at golf all the time as a shiny object. Like, I'm always trying to find ways to get better and improve, even though it might be slow, and like right now, my shiny object is beating David, one of the guys in the office. It's like, we go every week and I haven't beat him yet. And so now I'm practicing more. I'm putting more effort in my game, and I even upgraded my clubs.
It goes to my point. That goes exactly to my point, though. It's that mission or that goal. It's what's the mission? What's the goal? What's the bigger future? What's the higher outcome? That's what has to motivate you. There's nothing else that does, right? I mean, you join the gym. Well, you want to be stronger. You want to feel better about yourself. You want to look better. You want to lose some weight. You want to be healthier.
Yep.
Because that's a bigger future. That's a better future than not doing that, right? Same with me. So to me, I think too many people get into stuff without, and then what's the investment? Like you don't just join a gym and not go there, right? So now you go there and you're probably like, what the hell do I do when I'm here? Like, now what do I do, right? Yep. Now you probably hire a trainer, right? And now you're going to be like, okay, I need to figure out a decent workout program. Then you don't want to waste your time. So you're going to feel like, well, I probably ought to get more regimented about this. Okay, 3 days a week. And then you're going to look at your nutrition, right?
Yep.
You're going to start going through the whole thing because you're going to have to, because the gym's not enough, right? So that gym membership was just the start.
Yep.
It was just the beginning of the journey that you're going to get on. And then maybe, 6 months from now, you're going to look back and go, okay, yeah, that was a lot of freaking effort, right? But
now it's routine.
You're down 30 pounds and you're feeling better, and you're like, okay, now what's the next level, right? And then you go, well, I need to eat a little bit better, and I need to maybe work out 4 days a week. And it's all that, right? I'm always looking for efficient ways to get stuff done too. And so to me, that's why I hire coaches.
Right.
I mean, I didn't want this to be a podcast about hiring coaches, but I hire coaches because I'm like, that is exactly what I did with the coaches on this fitness thing that I'm doing. Just tell me what the hell to do. Like, I don't want to guess anymore. I don't want to guess at my supplements. I don't want to guess at my meal replacements. Like I travel, lately I've been traveling 4 days a week.
Right.
Dude, it's hard to eat.
Yeah.
When you're on the road. So give me something I can carry in my bag. I don't want to eat the airplane food. I don't want to eat at airports. I don't want to eat that crap anymore. What should I carry with me? What can I mix in a mixer just to stay on track? Maybe it's not perfect, but at least I can not eat the crap that I know, like grab the pizza, grab the Taco Bell or whatever, But the other thing I think is really important to talk about, and this will relate, Thomas, to what you and I deal with a lot here at Graves Golf, is one of my biggest motivators, this is personal to me, and I know it's personal to you, is that what you do affects everybody around you.
Absolutely.
Like but not by what you say, by what you do.
Yeah.
You will influence people. If you start getting in really good shape and you start feeling good about yourself and you're really motivated, how can people around you not be motivated? Mm-hmm. Because
Absolutely.
you're gonna pull them along with you and go, hey bud, why don't you do this? Good example of that is my friend Rob. Here I am doing this fitness thing. I've been doing it for about 2 weeks now, and so I'm eating with Rob, right? I'm having lunch with him and I'm not eating. I order like what I'm supposed to eat. And Rob goes, "You're not eating?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I said I'm really sticking to this program." He goes, "What program?" And I'm like this. He goes, "Dude, this is incredible." I'm like, "I know." And I showed him. So he signs up, mm-hmm. right? You can't help but not influence people around because they see the example you're setting. They see you being motivated by something. They see you inspired to do something, mm-hmm. and that inspires them to want to do it too. To me, that'll be the biggest thing. That is a big motivator for me, is like, how can I expect people? I walk into Graves Golf and I expect people to be highly motivated. I expect people to be ambitious. And this is part of our value system here at Graves Golf. Right. I expect people to be basically high achieving, motivated, high value system, inspirational, and all the part of our values. Mm-hmm. Well, how can I expect our customers to do business with us and want us to help them if we're not that?
Right.
It's true.
Yeah, absolutely. And it there's a lot of self-drive and a lot of that happens, but it does kind of go with the people that are around you. And I think, as golfers are out there and they're around their buddies and, they start to see success, others will want to do the same kind of thing too. And we've had the same thing in the office. It's like, one of the guys, Ollie, he's been playing pickleball. Well, I joined the gym, they got pickleball, and he's at the same gym. All right, well, now we're playing pickleball, and now Scott's talking about joining the gym, so we can all go and we can work out and then play pickleball and go cycling and do all of that.
It is,
and then we're all of us are going, at least once or twice a week trying to play golf together, and just within our team of 18 people here that we're, people are starting to roll into that.
Like, it's lifestyle.
Yeah.
Your the things you do in your life. Like if you hang out in the bars and drink, you're going to hang out with people, hang out in bars and drink.
Yep.
Right. I remember one day back in my previous lifetime, brother Tim was a state epidemiologist when I was in college. Mm-hmm. Right. Tim had graduated and he became a state epidemiologist. And Tim used to have to go down and do crazy things like, there'd be a death and you have to go research how somebody passed away or whatever. And I remember Tim called me one day and he goes, "Todd," and this is my brother giving me brotherly advice. He goes, you hang out with people with knives, you're going to get stabbed. I remember him saying that. I said, that's such a life lesson.
That's right.
It's so true. If you hang out with people that work out, you're going to get in shape. You hang out with people that play golf and are working on their game, you're going to work on your game. Mm-hmm. That might be what really the topic here is. Look, get around people that are successful, get around people that are motivational, get around people that are inspirational. That is why I don't like the forums.
Yeah.
That is why I struggle with social media the most, because I look, it's funny. I was looking on my YouTube channel. Quick story. I'm in Lake Tahoe playing the course that they just played that Steph Curry just, I played that course 2 days before they started the tournament.
Oh, wow.
I mean, is it a great course? It's okay. But it's on Lake Tahoe, so it's really cool.
Sure.
So I play the course and I get paired with this guy. And by the way, I booked the first tee time so I don't have to play with anybody because I don't like playing with other people. And I don't want that to sound rude, but I'm not a celebrity, but sometimes I get that kind of celebrity thing. Oh, there's Todd. Sure enough, I show up on the first tee and a guy comes up and goes, "You're Todd Graves." And I got to play with the guy. I just want to play golf with my wife.
Right.
I just want to go out there and hack it around with my wife and see the lake and be on the course. And I love playing golf with my wife when we just enjoy the scenery. I don't care how I play. Well, now this guy's like, "I can't wait to watch you play." I'm like, great. Anyway, it was fine. But my point is that it's just hard. But it was just me being at Lake Tahoe, getting away from it. It was it's always difficult when you have to kind of put on a show.
Sure.
Right. So that was hard for me. But my point is that being around the people that you want to be around and being inspired is such a huge part of what I try to do in my life. I've gotten to the point now where I don't want to be around anybody I don't want to be around.
Yeah.
And that's why on my YouTube channel, I was telling this guy that I was playing with at Lake Tahoe, I said, he was talking about YouTube, and I said, I got to be honest with you. I said, I don't love YouTube. He goes, really? You got tons of subscribers? I'm like, yeah, I don't love it. And I said, here's why. I looked in the amount of people that I've blocked on YouTube, because I block everybody. If you make one negative comment, I block you. One. Because here's why I look at it. You wouldn't say that to my face.
Right.
Right. You wouldn't be rude to me to my face, but since you're hidden behind the computer. So I'm like, if you would do that to my face, I would walk away from you.
Yeah.
So I walk away from YouTube. And I have zillions of people that I've unsubscribed. Like, I mean, I literally I probably have the largest list of people I've blocked. And so I've just chosen in my life. It's just a choice I've made.
Yeah.
The choice is I only want to be around people that inspire me. I only want to be around people that I can look up to. I only want to be around people that motivate me, and I want people that have good attitudes, because life's too short.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that kind of goes with us in our membership and online coaching and our elite programs and all that stuff, is that, the people that want to do this, that want to take that next step, those are the people we want to help. And the ones that don't, okay, go do what you want to do. But hey, I do have a recommendation for you. So the next time you're at Lake Tahoe and you guys say, hey, you're Todd Graves, you whip out some Raising Cane's coupons,
right,
and be like, hey,
we had that recently where a guy sent me a recommendation on opening up a chicken store somewhere.
Yeah. And so you just say, hey, here's some coupons for you.
Yeah.
And
Ron Todd Graves.
Yeah, Ron Todd Graves. Just, then you can go play golf.
Yeah. And then he'd probably think, man, this Todd Graves at Raising Cane's is a really good golfer.
That's right. Yeah. So
it was fun. It was.
Yeah. So, and I think, a lot of times where we have different situations even within the company. So like, right now we've got this power generation masterclass. And so the people that are part of it are all wanting to figure out how can we, work to improve our power on the course, how to be. And so, they're a group of people coming together. They're trying to work on, their game in certain areas. And the same thing kind of goes with our elite members and all that, is that, I think it's definitely, you find those people that, eventually you want to gravitate towards that are, the common interests, common goals, common strives that they're trying to do within their life. And that's who you want to gravitate towards. And all those people that are negative or that don't want to help towards those goals, do you need them?
So, I think my brother said it correctly, the 10% show, right? How do we even derive that topic? I mean, how did that become the title of that show?
Because of the 10% of golfers who actually want to improve and work on their game.
And the 10% of people that join the masterclass. It's the same 10%.
Yeah.
I'm that 10%, right? You're that 10%. Some people are just can motivate themselves to a level of, I'm going to do this to achieve, and they do it. And some people just can't. If I'm out there and I'm in the other 90%, like if somebody's listening to this podcast, you need to take some inventory and think to yourself, am I a 10% guy?
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Like, you give me the definition of a 10%er.
A guy or gal, that practices, the correct things the right way, not just to go out and just hit balls around, but, takes the time to learn the way that they should, takes inventory, kind of keeps track of their stats, sets goals, sets, things for where they want to go, know that they have the help here to help, hold them accountable to that. And then, they enjoy what they're doing and want to strive. Where I look at a lot of the guys or gals that aren't in that, a lot of times they're complaining about their golf game and this and that. It's like, you can change that.
The people that complain the most are the people that are I see the people that complain the most are the people that are the least involved.
Yeah.
That's what Grant Cardone was talking to me about. I mean, the people that are sitting the sidelines, the spectators that are watching the sport complain.
Yep.
That should have been like that. That should have been like that. The people in the game are playing the game.
Right.
And so the 10%ers play the game.
Yeah.
Like look, nothing's going to be perfect. Graves Golf isn't perfect. The class I just signed up for this fitness thing is not perfect. Nothing is perfect, right? Mm-hmm. Not one thing's going to be perfect. However, The imperfection is what, to me, when I see things that aren't perfect, that's just an opportunity for me to get better.
Right.
Me get better, right? I don't expect, like, when I hire these trainers, you know what I want from them? I want two things, the same thing people want from us. I want, number one, I need to know what to do. Please help me know what to do. I get confused in situations. I need to know what to do. Number two, well, actually, there's three things I want. I want accountability. Number two, keep me accountable because I get sidetracked. I'm a shiny guy like you. Shiny, shiny, shiny. I'm moving around. So get me back on track. Get me back on track. That's huge. Number three, I want accessibility.
Yep.
I want them to be accessible to me. Like, I need you right now. Like, or today. I need some help right now, or I'm off track. Can you get me back on track in the next 24 hours? Because I know that consistency over time will get me the result I want. And I'm going to repeat that. Consistency over time will give me the results I want.
I like that.
Yeah. Because what people do is they do it once and never again.
Yeah.
Did I get it? It happens. I see it every day at our golf schools.
Right.
No, you're going to do it by being consistent over time. Food. Thomas, you're going to deal with this right now. You just joined the gym. Now you're going to start eating better.
All right.
Consistency of your meals, consistent workouts, and a little bit of time, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, boom. All of a sudden you're 20 pounds down. And then the accelerator goes on. You're like, you want to do it more.
Right.
You get more motivated because you're seeing the results. Dude, that's the answer to it all.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I would recommend anybody listening to us talk about us teaching golf is, if you buy our single plane solution, the likelihood of you watching that video and getting better is low.
Yeah.
Is low, right? If you do what's on that video, it gets higher. If you become accountable to what's on that video, meaning you do exactly what I'm saying, it's very high, so it's getting higher. And then if you can exactly do what's in that instruction, you'll get it.
Yep.
But what people do is they buy the video and they watch it and they try one thing out of the video and they think they got it and they didn't even get close.
Yep.
I've seen this hundreds of times.
Yep.
That swing didn't help me. You did it wrong.
All right.
You just did it wrong. There's no other way to say it, because if you did it right, you would have gotten results.
Yep.
You did it wrong, or you did something wrong.
Exactly.
So to me, it's consistency over time and making sure you do it correctly, but consistently doing it correctly over time gets you the results you want. But you got to have both elements. You can't just do it once in a while. And you can't not expect to do it in one time and get it. You know, well, I'll just give one more story. Like this kid I'm working with, he was swinging it great. I mean, this is the best I've seen him swing it. Right. I've worked with him for a year now, and he's swinging it really good. He's growing a little bit. He's getting a little taller. He's a little more stable, a little stronger. Speaking of power generation, he's starting to generate more power. And then he goes, man, I'm really swinging good at it. I'm like, yeah. You know what you need to do now? And he goes, what? And I go, a zillion more.
Yeah.
That more. More of that. Don't stop now. Give me 50 reps. So I'm on the phone with him last night, watching him hit some balls. I go, swing looks great. I love what I'm seeing. Don't go to bed yet. I want 50 more shots before you go. This is at midnight, basically. 50 shots before you go to bed. He goes, got it. And so he, I don't know if he did it or not. I hung up with him. Me holding him accountable.
Right.
I'll call him today and go, did you get your reps in last night?
Yep.
And knowing him, he did. So, but that's it. That's it. And you brought up the Power Generation Masterclass. That's an entry point.
Yep.
Because anything I teach is an entry point, by the way. There's nothing that I'm like, okay, this is advanced stuff. No. This is all important stuff to the single plane swing. If you entered, let's say the first thing you watched was a Power Generation Masterclass, you'd get more out of watching that, and then to help your single plane swing than if you started with just the regular single plane swing instruction video. So it could be an entry point. And so don't think you got to be advanced to get the Power Generation Masterclass. It's fundamental.
Yeah,
the stuff I talk about in that class is fundamental to the lower body producing speed in the upper body. It's fundamental.
Yeah.
And by the way, I still work on it. Like, it's not something I got it. When I'm in that gym, I work on my decelerators. That's because it generates power in my lower body so I can produce more club head speed. I do that in my workouts. When I was with my trainers, what do you think my goals were? I mean, they're making me figure out what my goals were. Well, one of them was, I want to be stronger.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I want to hit a few extra yards. Like I'm 56 and I'm slowing down. I want to get faster. So I'm setting goals with my trainers that are aligned with working on my decelerators, because I know that's what the Power Generation Masterclass, that's what I talked about, that are going to help me produce more speed. And so it's a lifestyle. I guess that's my point. It's just one big lifestyle.
Well, it is, and then it goes to everything within the game. Like a lot of times we'll talk to guys and all their goals are about, I want to hit the driver longer, hit through this or this. And it's like, then they'll work with us for a few months and they're like, but I'm not improving. Like, because you didn't go work on your putting. You didn't work on your chipping. You didn't work on other parts of the game. All you did was focus on one area, which, yeah, and you might have improved, but overall it didn't see it. It's like, so dive into the single plane putting system, get into all the other things that, that we have to help, but you can't just say, oh, I worked on it for, because like for you, I mean, yeah, you could go and work out, but if you're still eating, Big Macs with apple pies every day, it's not going to help.
Yeah.
I mean, you might a little, but
it's funny because I have a student, I won't name names, but he sends me his scores all the time. He just texts me his scores. And I don't want to sound, I always say something here somewhat controversial in these podcasts, but I don't give a shit about your score.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what you shot. Now, I hope you're happy with your score, and I hope you shoot 65. I don't know. I hope you play well. Great. But I don't give a shit. You know what I give a shit about? Are you better than you were yesterday?
Right.
Are you making progress? Are you improving? And you're shooting great scores. Great. Or when you shoot a high score, I'm like, okay, what? Your score doesn't mean shit. And I've told this, I'll tell this story in the podcast, but I always tell it at all our schools, that the absolute best score I ever shot in competition was 64, right? And you'd say, great score. I mean, that's a great score. I think par 71, 700 par. And I always tell people, okay, let me explain this round to you. I didn't hit it very good on the front nine, but I just hit it close enough to the green where I kept chipping it in the hole. I kept chipping it in. So I'm not hitting it good, but I chip it in. So the ball is just kind of finding the hole. So I didn't play horrible, but it was like, I wasn't real happy with the way I played. I probably hit 3 or 4 greens regulation on the front. I go to the back nine. I freaking hole it from the trees on a par 5 for eagle. And so now I'm like, what, 6 under par? I actually bogeyed a par 3 putted. And then on the last hole, this summed up the whole day. I drive it in the trees, didn't hit a very good drive. Have a 5 iron, I punch it under a tree, hits way too hard, hits the flag and goes in the hole for an eagle. So I make 2 eagles in the back nine.
No.
So I'm signing the scorecard 64, and guys are like, man, great round. I'm like, no, you know what? It wasn't a freaking good round.
Yeah.
There was nothing good about that round.
Right.
I mean, yeah, the score ended up okay, and I'm leading the tournament, whatnot. But I'm like, I don't feel very good about that round.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was a bullshit round. And tomorrow, because when I teed up tomorrow, do you think I go out tomorrow with confidence? Hell no. I go out tomorrow like, I can't hack it away. I can't hack it to a 64 tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, tomorrow's, and matter of fact, Tim came to caddy for me because occasionally Tim and I were playing in the same events, and he'd caddy for me, I'd caddy for him, and Tim's caddying for me. And I'm like 4 over in the second round on like 14th hole, and Tim turned to me and goes, what'd you shoot yesterday? I'm like, I shot 64. I said, but this is exactly how I was playing. I was like, the chips went in, and it just, but the absolute best round I ever played in competition was I shot 1 over, and I missed the cut. And that day I hit the ball great. I controlled it. The conditions were extremely difficult for playing golf. Winds blowing. The course is really difficult. I mean, the numbers are really high. I shot low round for the afternoon rounds because the weather all came in the afternoon. And I shoot 1 over, and I missed the cut. And to this day, if you ask me, Todd, what's the best round of golf you've ever played? It's 1 over par. It's not 64.
Yeah.
And so score is just a freaking number that happens at the end of the game. But your ability to consistently perform well is the quality of shots you hit when you play, and staying in the game and hitting good shots and good putts. And that's what's going to matter. So what I care about is, were you in the game? Were you hitting good shots? How many fairways did you hit? I mean, God, if you hit a tree and it goes in the fairway, is that a good shot?
Right.
Hell no, it's not a good shot. You know? So that's what I care about, is like, are you getting better in your performance? Are you becoming a better golfer? Right. I've shot lots of rounds in the mid 70s where I didn't score very well, but I'm like, I feel pretty good about that round because, I didn't putt well. I need to work on the putting. But the ball striking was good. Anyway, my point is that I think guys have to measure themselves differently. Now, wouldn't you say that about our Elite 8 program and things like that? You got to start measuring yourself differently.
Well, yeah, and that's why we've got the assessments that we've created, because it's not just, initially guys wanted to set. We talked about how are we going to track your improvement? Like, oh, well, we'll just use our handicap. It's like, well, yeah, but that's all based on score, playing on the course, not really the parts of the game and really where you do well and improve. And so I think, that's one of the great things that we've built into this program is like, how, one, do we assess you? These aren't drills, but it's assessments to be able to see, in different, and at any time we've got, 8 different assessments that cover all parts of the game. And you'll notice more of those are heavily short game, than the scoring side of it, because that's where you'll definitely make that improvement. And it's huge in a lot of ways. I mean, my daughter Natalie playing a tournament the other day, shot a 79. Okay. She was 7 over. She hit 6% of greens in regulation.
Wow.
Shot 79 with 3 double bogeys.
So she hit 6 greens.
No.
6%.
1.
She hit 1 green.
1 green in regulation. Shot 79.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because she's been working on those assessments.
Let's analyze that for a second, because so here's what Natalie took away from that round. And here's what I would have taken away from it. I can go play the worst golf of my life, and the worst score I'm going to shoot is 79.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I take away from that. It's like if I go play, if I miss every green,
mm-hmm.
I can still shoot a pretty good score.
Yep.
That's massive for your
Right.
confidence. So think about that. She didn't hit it very good, tee to green,
mm-hmm.
but she still shot a decent score. And so that to me is how you play golf.
Right.
Because just think if she hit it good.
Yeah.
Now she's going to shoot 72, 68. Right. That's massive. See, our guys don't understand.
Yeah.
You guys out there, you're kind of just in that little bubble where you got to get your game to a level to where if something goes off the rails, you have a short game that saves it. Or I'm the opposite usually. Usually I just strike it really well, and my short game kind of lets me down. I don't putt very good.
Yeah.
And I go out there and I shoot 72, 73, and I go, well, if Tim would have hit those putts, he'd have shot 64. You know?
Yeah.
But that's just my weakness of my game. That's the stuff I'm always focusing on. Well, why do you think I developed a single line putting system?
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think I was a part of that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I got to simplify this.
Yep.
There's got to be a simpler way to figure out how to putt. And so that's why single line putting system helped me dramatically so far. And we've only been doing that a couple of years now.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think that's great. That was a great story about Natalie. Because I mean, I think that's this is a confidence builder for her.
Absolutely. Well,
so what was her stats like from it? She in the bunker, like she had any up and downs? Like what?
I don't remember exactly what the up and
she
downs. She had
probably 22 putts.
She had 27.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. There was lots of chips, flops, and up and downs.
Wow.
She chipped in a couple times.
Yeah.
She hit 78% of fairways.
Wow. So she's
it was just approach. It was approach shots.
Well, it's just data.
Yeah.
It's just great. It's just data. So she knows exactly what to work on. So what a great deal. Because think about that. And this is what, and we'll kind of wrap the podcast up here, but this is what I would take away from this podcast is think about Natalie's round for a second. She built a short game through the analysis, the tools that we have. She built a short game that saved her from not having a good approach game when she played.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but by keeping her stats during that round, she also knows what she has to work on. I got to go figure out what's happening from my tee shot to the green. Is it proximity problem? Is it strategy problem? Or is it just ball striking problem? Like what's going on? Am I pulling it, consistently? Maybe she can do a little analysis there. But just by having some data, doing the analysis, she figured out that the game is played from being smart, not from just, raw, how far do I hit it? And, that's cool. That's great.
Yeah. Her thing that we're working on now, she just switched over to the paradigms. And so her wedges and short, her approach stuff is kind of all over the place. So we're working through some of that. But
again, another lesson is anytime you change equipment.
Yep.
Like I'm a club longer with the paradigm stuff.
Right.
And I played this course, and by the end of the round, I couldn't tell how far I was hitting it.
Yeah.
I mean, there were 7 irons I was hitting. Like I hit this one. How far was I? 200. And I hit a 7 iron, 200, where normally that would be 5 iron, 6 iron.
Sure.
And so now I'm up there going, okay, I got a little downhill par 3 and it's 180.
What I hit.
What do I hit? 8 iron?
Yeah.
And no, 9 iron. And so I'm like, I told Tracy, I'm just going to 9 iron. I mean, I'm just out there practicing anyway. So I had 9 iron. Right in the middle of the green. I'm like, okay, do I relax it at 9 iron, 180? I don't think I do. But again, when you get new equipment and the conditions that equipment plays under, and I'm elevated up there in Lake Tahoe. So you're getting some extra yardage, probably a club longer there.
Right.
So now I'm trying to figure out how freaking far do I hit these clubs? But that's just part of the learning curve. When you change your clubs, you got to go gauge them and stuff like that. So I'm sure she's going through a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, and we talk to our guys a lot about that too, is that, they don't do that. They don't go out to the range and
gauge it.
Pick their target, kind of see, okay, how close am I getting to that? And being able to then track those yardages. Yeah. Guys will just think, oh yeah, I mean, it's 190, it's a 7 iron. I'm like, no, it's not.
And you need to check your carry yardage, not the bounce.
Correct. Yeah.
And you got conditions matter. Like I know I'm at 6,000 feet or whatever in Lake Tahoe or whatever it was. I mean, I don't remember what the elevation was, but that was affecting a lot of how far the ball was going. So that was a factor. Like, I don't hit the ball near as far here as I do there.
Right.
But those are great lessons. I mean, those are great things. And if guys are really, really serious about getting better, you got to start tracking it. You got to start paying attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's where our guys, especially in the elite program and VIP, are starting to see, you know, when they do track that data, it really helps, you know, and they're starting to see that growth.
And generally speaking, the guys, the Single Point Academy members, and most of the guys who listen to this podcast, and if you're not, those guys are pretty good. I mean, all those guys are pretty accountable. They're working at it. They're in the program. They wouldn't be in it if they weren't, right? So they're all working with the coaches. I think if I had to give any advice to that group of guys, it would be maybe lean more on the short game, try to get more effective in your short game, because a lot of guys are just sending swing videos into the coaches, and they need to send more short game stuff. And maybe the single plane putting system will really help them kind of channel that into more of a, I mean, we're going to do so much putting stuff in the next 3 months, so that it'll focus on that heavily. Yeah, absolutely. So it's been good. There's a lot going on here at Graves Golf. Yeah. Well, hey, as we wrap up, why don't you just run down, because maybe it'll update me too. Everything you got going on. You just told me we have a new podcast, your podcast. We do. We got the Scramble, which is a lighter version of a little podcast. So I host with a couple of the guys here in the office, and we just talk about not only the things that are going on here with Graves Golf, but just golf in general. Do you talk about me in that podcast? Maybe. Good. Awesome. That's probably the only podcast I listen to. I mean, you know, we talk about stuff, but you know, things that our folks would want to, you know, hear about. And then we talk a little bit about, you know, just the golf world in general. And then, like, you know, the last one we were kind of talking about some things that were happening at the PGA Tour, and it's like, well, how could that have been different if those guys were single playing, you know, in a lot of ways. And so, you know, kind of talk about that. So we got that's going. So we'll be rolling out some more of those podcasts soon. Awesome. Love it. Obviously the Performance Center, you know, we've got Graves Golf Performance Center here in Oklahoma City. Construction's rolling. We got lots of, you know, getting ready to move a lot of dirt. Is that done yet? I've been working on this for 2 years. Gosh, this got to get done. But yeah, we're making progress. I know the training center, I went to the teaching center yesterday. I mean, Mike will have that done by the end of August. So, but that doesn't help us. We need our offices. So. Offices and a road and parking lot and all that stuff. So we got a ways to go, but man, we're so excited about that. Yeah, we got that. You know, obviously the lock and roll putter. We've got the first. So excited about that putter. Yeah. The first batch of those are in production now. Thursday, the 25th, which maybe this will be out here before then. I don't know. We'll have to kind of see, but we've got an event that's going on. Talk a little bit more about the lock and roll putter. Nice. Lots of stuff here within the office. We've added 3 new people full time in the last a week or so. Mm-hmm. Getting ready to start single plane events and travel. You'll all be able to hear a lot about this. Shay Scarberry is our new hire here. She was an accomplished college golfer and high school golfer here in Oklahoma, and is coming onto the team to help us start. When does she start? Monday. All right. Yeah. So we'll start. Well, and just so people know, we've been throwing around these ideas. Many of you who are listening to this podcast have been contributing to this. Is let's go to Scotland. That's right. Let's go places and play golf. Let's go have single plane events. Yep. I think the first thing she's going to do is a single plane event. Yeah. Right. We're talking about that. We're doing tournament in Las Vegas. Events. Yeah. So Las Vegas? Las Vegas. Oh, my hometown. That's right. So we got Las Vegas. We got event there. I won't miss that one. You know me. I might be on the video poker machine during the whole thing, but no, that's awesome. And then we want to go to like travel to Scotland, and we talking about doing trips. Yep. So that's super exciting. Yeah. So, yeah. Absolutely. So if you guys are interested in taking off and doing a trip with us, right. She'll be the one to talk to. Yeah. It'll be really cool once we get that going. And then, you know, Nick has come and joined us, guy from Nick's a rock star. Yep. So he's good. So he's really going to be working on our single plane experience program and getting things going. Just lots of good stuff happening here at Graves Golf. Love it. We're, you know, sales teams working on stuff. It's, you know, it's an exciting time for us because, you know, there's you know, obviously now everybody's kind of moved past COVID and getting back out. It's really excited. It's weird, not to have a whole other podcast conversation, but it is weird how, and I've seen this with what's happened here. It's like, and I just saw a statistic says that travel is at its all-time high right now. Right. You know, travel. People are living again. And it's kind of weird that it took this long. Maybe it's just the way society works, but now people are kind of like, it's like I don't know. Do you like it? I mean, because I'm at the airports now and go, wow, it's a mess because they can't keep up with the amount of, like, the staffing's not there.
Right.
Restaurant staffing's not there. The TSA staffing's not there. It's just a disaster. But it'll ramp up fast. Yeah. But it's like, I'm glad to see that people are living again and kind of in the world again.
Yeah.
I think that's the purpose of life, is to be experiencing things and out there doing stuff. But it is interesting to see how it's kind of taken this long to get here.
No, it absolutely has. I mean, you know, our family, we scheduled a trip to Disney World in October, and they used to do the dining plan where, you know, it was included in that you could, you know, kind of prepay and stuff, and they aren't starting that back up until January. Yeah. And that's been 4 years for them.
Yeah,
and it's like all kinds of stuff.
It's hard to ramp back to the levels that we were at.
Right. Yeah. It's and we're really starting to see that now. We're starting to see, you know, we're at an all-time high on club sales, you know, with people. So guys are getting back out, updating their equipment, getting back out and play. We're seeing, you know,
we just hired a travel person, so
we just exactly.
So yeah, we're firing all cylinders.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, it's a good time to definitely be a part of Graves Golf, and you know, anybody who has any questions and stuff, reach out, and you know, we're here to help and help hold accountable where we can. And
well, thanks for the update. Thanks for having you on the show. And this is the Fling of Greatness podcast. And thanks for joining us. And we'll see you again in the future.